No talking points with Dr. Abdullah and Tim Black, fam.
Right.
Can we move on to Jasmine Crockett?
Absolutely. I've been itching. I'm waiting. I'm like, you sure? You ready? I just need to know because I've been researching it. I've been asking questions. Other than we got to get Trump out of office. Other than he's a racist. And okay, we hear all of that. I got you. Can somebody please tell me the policy? What are Jasmine Crockett's policies? And let me say this to you. Being that I'm a member of what they call, I hate this term, the Divine Nine Black Greek letter fraternities. I have a ton of friends and I have family who are members of Jasmine Crockett's sorority. So on social media, they have her picture coming up. And it takes everything in me not to just say, why are you supporting her if you don't know her policy?
Wow.
Can we please move past the caricature of the sister girl that she's putting out there? Nobody's buying it. Nobody that matters in this political theater we got going on. The Democrats aren't even supporting her anymore. Help me out, Brother Tim. I don't know, man.
If I could disagree with anything, I would. All I can say is, you know, I believe that Black people suffer from identity politics. I think all people suffer from identity politics. You know, Doc knows, he's been watching my show for a long time. I interviewed Andrew Yang. I didn't know Asian people wanted to be president until he ran. They was everywhere, fam. So it's not just us. So I don't want to just be like, Black people need to get over. Fam, look how you in New York. I ain't gotta tell you. You in New York, you see how they acted to Ma'am Donnie. The reaction of immigrants. They're not even from, I forget where he's from, but they're not even from where he's from. But just the fact that he an immigrant, they like, that's our guy, you know. There's so much to that that's in all of us.
Yeah.
But Black people, we do not have, I believe we do not have the room where we can, the luxury. We don't have the luxury to operate like that. We got to get something for our dollar.
Absolutely.
We got to get something for our vote. We got to get something for our advocacy. We can't afford. Maybe the Asians could afford to support Andrew Yang, and he'd just be talking about robots and talking about. He did have one policy, UBI, but even Andrew Yang had a policy.
Thank you.
Yeah, universal basic income. He was talking about that, and he had a bunch of crazy ideas, but that's the one that stuck. And 20 years, was it now? 10 years later, we still talk about it.
That's right.
He didn't invent it, by the way. They've been talking about that since Martin Luther King days, because it was universal basic income and government jobs.
Yeah.
These are things that have been in the lexicon forever. But to your point, I'll pass it back to you, Doc. Black Americans have to let go of the need to be represented through others. We need solutions, not symbols.
I'm going to say this, brother, and I'm going to tell you this. I genuinely believe what I'm about to say. We don't have the room, nor the luxury. I think that's the apropos word you use. The room or the luxury of having identity politics lead us in the political conversation. And I'm going to tell you why. We don't have enough history of politicians getting in office and doing what we need specifically. We don't have that history. We don't have enough politicians who are open and bold enough to get on camera and say, I want to help my community. Now, every other community does that. Ilhan Omar did it for the Somalis.
Yes.
She was very upfront about that because her constituency said, you're one of us. You got to do for us. And she said, I absolutely will. We don't have that. And because we don't have that, the ground zero for any Black politician coming to us for our vote should be, this is what I'm going to do for us specifically. If you're not starting the conversation off there, we shouldn't even be listening to you. That's just the long and short of it. And right now, because of we are in dire straits as a community.
Yes.
And if we're not hearing you say, I want a anti-Black hate crime bill on the docket, that's something I'm pushing. If you're not talking about reparations in the form of cash payments and other programs for the descendants of American chattel slavery, if you're not talking about a living wage, if you're not talking about doing what Brother Dick Gregory said about 30, 40 years ago, tying law enforcement's ability to carry weapons to a license like a doctor.
Yeah.
People don't know about that.
Yeah.
Because he said, what do you hate me more than you love your well-being?
Your retirement.
Your retirement. Which one you hate more? You hate your retirement or you hate me? Because if you love your retirement, you're gonna let me live. Mm-hmm. If they're not coming to the table with that, I don't want to hear anything else. I don't want to hear about minority coalitions. I don't want to hear about lift-off programs. Yep. As a Black community, we need people to step in and say, this is what I want for the Black community. Because guess what? The Black community advancing, the entire country advances.
Right.
And people don't want to accept that fact.
Yep.
If you lift anything up from its bottom, everything moves up.
Yeah.
And it moves up to its highest height.
And that's the problem. They're not lifting from the bottom. They're lifting above us.
They lift at the top, and it goes oh so far.
There it is. There it is.
So when we talk about Jasmine Crockett, my question is, we could take the Black community off the table. What has she offered the American community outside of the sister girl, caricature, quick wit, what's that? The clickbait,
right?
Or clippable moment.
Yep. I mean, the part that's been so frustrating for me is that I'm in the media space, so I know I peeped her game 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. It was just the elevator self. Yeah. The people that are pushing Jasmine Crockett don't need politics to work for them. Just because they Black does not mean they need politics to work for them.
Absolutely.
D.L. Hughley gonna be okay no matter who in office.
He all right. He's okay.
Gonna be all right.
He's okay.
There are Black people that are gonna be fine regardless of who in there. They may complain. Joy Reid may complain. Don Lemon may complain. These are multimillionaires who have the bag already.
They're gonna be all right.
It don't matter who goes to the Senate. It doesn't really matter. They don't even live in Texas. So
absolutely.
But your broke ass.
Right.
I'm talking to people that don't have a trust fund, people that if they couldn't work for 2 months, might be looking at the front door from the opposite side. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm talking about people, that could become part of the homeless if something didn't go right for a couple months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
First, we got to be able to parse out people that really have a shared fate with us to see if what they're talking about makes sense for us. And that's not their fault. They can only look through their lives in their eyes, but we have to look through our own eyes. My next thing, my number 2 is, one of the pushbacks I get all the time when I criticize Jasmine Crockett is, but we don't have Congress. So what could she have done, Tim? Bernie Sanders does not have Congress, but him relentlessly pushing Medicare for All did what? It made this become part of the conversation that's been sticking around since 2016.
Yep.
I just told you, Andrew Yang was talking about universal basic income. He didn't have Congress. He ain't been a politician at all.
Nope.
But he's been talking about universal basic income. He talked about it so much it became a thing. So don't tell me Jasmine Crockett, just because she doesn't have the House and the Senate or whatever, the Democrats don't have it, that she is somehow off the hook for not having an agenda that benefits your life, my kids' life. That is just a talking point to shut us up. When they tell you you don't know civics,
Oh, that's the best one.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
That is telling you that no one, MLK wasn't a politician. Look what he got done. Look at what many great people have done without even being elected to any office. It's about her having that spotlight and not using it to help anybody except herself and to shit on Trump is a problem. Back to you, Doc. Yeah,
I'm 100% on board because this is eerily reminiscent of a Barack Obama. And, people say, how do you compare the two? I said, well, remember when he got into office and didn't really do anything that mattered for not just the Black community? That just wasn't going to happen. Because when he said, I'm the president of all America, and I'm just Black America, I said, okay, well, we know where he is. Okay. Yeah. When he started bailing out banks and corporations and, then I knew where he was. Everyone said, well, when he gets into his second term, that's when he's going to pull out all the stops.
Yeah.
Because it won't matter at that point. He'll be lame, be a lame duck president. And then what did he do? Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
So once again, going back to my original point, which balances out with everything you just said, we don't have the history of politicians who look like us, who are willing to do what you said, put forth an agenda. I don't need to see it manifest today out of you, but I need to know that you're willing to put it forth to the American people.
Yep.
So they can galvanize behind it. But when you don't do it, you've just shown me who really controls you and the greater governmental structure.
Perfect. And to put a finer point on it, it shows your priorities, how warped your priorities are. Black Americans have an immense power in the country. We are the soul of America. We are the conscience of the country. Mm-hmm. And we are so influential. We're not just, and what to say the country is kind of limiting because for real, we influential all around the globe.
Ouch.
You go to Japan, you see Japanese kids dressing like somebody, right here in DC or right in New York.
That's right.
Flatbush.
Right.
Our culture, we are influential to the point where if Crockett, not just Crockett, this goes for anybody, but we're talking about her, if she was pushing an agenda, take Ice Cube's contract for a Black agenda.
Yeah, contract Black America.
Contract of Black America, which is not a new concept. There was a concept there, but 20, 30 years prior, someone came up with a contract with Black America. Now that I did some research on it. But the point is, look how that stuck. Mm-hmm. You ain't nobody but a rapper.
Nobody but a rapper.
Nobody but a rapper who had Dr. Derek Hamilton, who I had an opportunity to interview him, a good brother. All it took was him having the awareness, him being able to get the attention. He got the people together to put together the program, and Cube didn't write it. He just was the spokesperson for it.
He said, I'll present it. I don't care,
Stop letting people off the hook. Just because you want to feel good.
And that's what it all boils down to. People want to be popular. And I had to learn this working in education. The right thing isn't always popular. Sometimes you have to take these slings and arrows. But I'm going to tell you something, brother, because I listen to you and I watch your broadcast and you say some things that stick with me and inadvertently they end up being a part of my conversation. But I'm going to tell you something that and the family knows, how Black American politicians, and I'm not talking about the ones who are from Caribbean or African backgrounds who come in and identify as us but don't work for us. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm talking about Black American politicians are doing the world a disservice when they don't fight for us here. They're doing the world a disservice. And if you don't believe it, if you don't believe that what we do here matters around the globe, can we go back to the George Floyd protests?
What?
If you go back to that, the world saw us turning up.
What?
It said, well, hell, we gonna turn up with you.
Right.
Imagine if Black American politicians, Black diasporan politicians said, we're going to make sure Black Americans are good. Do you know how many yokes you would shake off of the necks of Blacks around the globe?
What?
CARICOM would be giving those Caribbean nations those reparations. United States would be well, hell, let's not tax them for a minute or something. They would do something. But when you stand idly by, cowardly, afraid to stand on principle because you're looking out for your bank account. I'm talking to you, Clyburn. If you look, I'm talking to you, Crockett. I'm talking to you, Hakeem Jeffries. I'm talking to all of you guys. If you are doing that, you are doing a disservice to not only the Black Americans here, but to the Blacks around the world.
I've been so let down by different politicians, to be honest with you, Doc. That's like, you know what, man? Let me just focus on my people and let me just be a messenger for the type of media we need to have, right? That advocates for us unapologetically. Because the only way we're going to get anything done is to be bold and courageous.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? And that we need that. You know, we need our own ADL. Anti-Defamation League. That's what we need.
Thank you. Can you do that? Can you do me a favor, brother? Can you say that one more time?
We need our own ADL.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? That the Anti-Defamation League that the Jewish folks have, we need that. That's uncompromising, doesn't beat around the bush, advocates for Black Americans. You can advocate for whatever you want. This is who we stand on. This is what we stand on. It's too much kumbaya.
Yeah.
It's too much kumbaya with the CBC, too much kumbaya with the NAACP, too much relying on funding from outside groups. We need people that are willing to be broke, willing not to have to be invited to the fancy get-togethers, the parties, to show up on the Tom Joyner cruise, to get invited to the BET Awards. We need Black people that are going to do that. So
the NAACP luncheon.
There you go.
Don't forget those. Yeah, don't forget that.
Whatever. Get tickets where we need people that are willing not to be able to post gown pictures at the black carpet.
Oh my!
Like Angela Rye.
Angela Rye would let us on the side.
Yeah.
Listen, brother, I want to say that you are 100%.
Before April, that's it. So we need people with that type of attitude if we go moving forward. Fam, we also need to fund those people.
I was about to say that. That's why I love you, brother. That's what I was just about to say.
I don't want to sound like rolling, but I got to tell you, look, my brother brought up Ilhan Omar. I was listening to a Fox News report, and I'm going to talk about it on Friday, where they said Ilhan Omar 3 years ago was worth $65,000.
How much you worth now?
30 M's.
In 6 years.
No, 3 years ago.
3 years.
3 years ago.
6.
I don't know where the money came from.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not saying Black Americans will be able to outfit media, media to that extent, but we got some money. Black Americans got some money. It's just where do we put that money?
We got money.
Where do we invest that money?
Absolutely.
And so back to Jasmine Crockett. We need to fund politicians. You see how Ilhan is crashing out for her people?
Hey, listen, won't accept responsibility for nothing. We caught their hand in the cookie jar so many times. She's still saying, "Nope, we're victims."
We need that too. No. I'm going the other way, bro. We need that.
Yeah, we need that money.
We need people to crash out like that for us.
Absolutely.
If we don't fund us, they can't crash out for us.
We don't. The problem is that we have too many of our politicians too busy trying to give excuses.
There you go. So it's like they have to step out on faith that if they ride or die, we got them.
We gonna take
but they
care
gotta
of them.
step out first because nobody wants to throw their money away.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to throw their support away. So I understand it. So this is where Jasmine Crockett fucks herself. And all those who don't stand on business. But people don't believe in you. Not really. Not enough. They want you to win because you look like them. but they don't believe in her enough to send a whole bunch of money. Ain't nobody sending a whole bunch of money to Jasmine Crockett.
Absolutely
I don't believe it's happening.
Absolutely not. And I'm gonna tell you something, brother. And this is I'm sending this right to Jasmine Crockett, Sister Crockett. If you were willing to have an agenda that would specifically help your community, you would be amazed at the support, the level of support you get. There is an entire movement that you may not even be aware of.
Yep.
That is sitting here waiting for a person who has commanded the limelight, who has notoriety, who has a level of appeal. I gotta give you your credit. You have a level of appeal. You'll be amazed how many people would give you their last. But I'm not sure. Maybe you just want the big PAC dollars. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, your community would not only benefit, they would support you. That's where we are today. We are much more politically savvy than we were before. The civil rights generation, they're almost all gone.
Yeah.
You know, we're the OGs now, Generation X.
Yeah. True.
We're the OGs now.
I don't know. Where did the time go, my brother?
I don't know.
How did that happen?
Listen, Generation X, we about show and prove. Show me something.
Show and prove. Man.
I don't want to hear all that. Well, we need somebody at the table. Well, damn it, if I'm not eating what I want, why the hell I want to be at the table? Those days are over, Sister Crockett. We need you to do better because what you're doing is a farce. It's a tragedy. And I know, brother, let me tell you, Brother Tim gonna stay on your neck.
Yeah.
So you might as well do right.
You might as well do right because I don't have nothing to lose. I'm like Leon Spinks. I ain't got no TFIS. I ain't got no driver's license. What can you do to me? With your pride.
Actually,
check this out. Now, here's the thing, though. If you do right, I do right.
There you go.
You do right, I do right. If you fight for us, I fight for you. Yeah. But if you don't fight for me, I don't fight for you. Just the fact that you are a black woman ain't enough for me. I got a black woman at home.
There you go.
I raised black women. I got black girls. I don't need my black girls imitating somebody who's a farce.
Quid pro quo, baby.
I've invited her on my show 10 times. And don't get no responses. At least Stephen A. Smith people respond. Yeah. They turn me down, but they respond. She don't even respond.
They gave you a no at least, right? Yeah. Crockett's not coming on this show. She's not coming. She's not talking to you, Tim.
Nah, she ain't coming because I'm going to ask her questions. I'm going to do like Piers Morgan. I'm going to ask her a question. I'm going to run the tape and shut up and watch her drown in her own bullshit. She going to have a coming to Christ moment with me. You had to explain why you keep comparing undocumented immigrants to slavery. I need you to explain that. I need you to break it down for me like I'm a 4-year-old. Why I got to keep hearing about people that came over last month or 2 years ago have anything to do with slave patrols or about people who died in the fields for generation upon generation upon generation. So until we had that conversation, as far as black Americans in their support, they love to support you. What a wasted opportunity.
Wasted.
I can do this with my eyes closed.